When I first started developing on Roblox, I had this massive vision in my head, like Vice City level ambition. I want to make this big open world crime game with cars, guns, shops, all of it. I built half a city before I realized something. It was empty. The map looked cool, sure, but there was basically nothing to do. Most of it was filler buildings with no gameplay behind them. That was the first moment it hit me. Just because you can build a world doesn't mean you've made a game. And I wish I could say that was the only time I learned something the hard way, but it wasn't. Not even close. I've been developing on Roblox for years now, and looking back, I can confidently say I made pretty much every classic mistake a new dev can make. Not because I was lazy or unmotivated, but because nobody really tells you this stuff when you're starting out. It's all trial and error, and most of the time, it's error. So this video isn't just a tutorial or a list, it's a highlight reel of exactly what I did wrong and what I wish someone had told me when I was starting out. If you're a new developer, or even just thinking about opening Roblox Studio for the first time, this might be the video that saves you weeks, or maybe even months of frustration. And if you've been around my channel for a bit, you already know, I don't gatekeep. I just share what I've learned by actually doing this. So whether you're here to learn or returning dev who wants to see if you've outgrown these rookie habits, let's go over the 5 biggest mistakes I made when I was starting out as a Roblox developer, and how you can avoid every single one of them. So like I said earlier, my first real attempt at a game was me trying to recreate Vice City. I was ambitious, right? I wanted this huge open map with alleys and buildings and crime mechanics. I spent weeks just building out streets, dropping in filler structures, detailing sidewalks, and then took a step back and realized something kind of brutal. There was nothing to actually do. The map was huge, yeah, but it was empty. No gameplay, no systems, just a bunch of buildings with no real purpose outside of being background noise. It looked like a game, but it didn't feel like one. That's a trap a lot of new developers fall into. You get excited, you want to build something massive, but you don't realize until halfway through that there's no core gameplay loop. And then, by the time you do notice, you're burnt out, and you abandon the whole thing. The fix? Start small. Your first few games should feel almost too basic, like a one mechanic obby or a short-wave survival game. Something you can finish and release in under a month, because the truth is, finishing a game teaches you way more than building half of a game ever will. That Vice City project never saw the light of day, but the smaller stuff I made after that, that's what actually helped me grow, that's what got me experience, feedback, and momentum. So if you're just starting out, don't chase scale. Chase something you can actually complete. I'll be real with you. For the first few years I used Roblox Studio, I was glued to the toolbox. Like that was the whole game to me. You'd search car, drag it into your map, maybe drop a couple free buildings in there and call it a city. It felt like progress, but really, I was just building a house on someone else's foundation. And look, I'm not saying you should never use Toolbox. It's fine for small stuff, a trash can mesh, a tree model, a couple decorations, but if you're dragging in a full-on working car or a scripted building or some entire system that you don't even understand at all, you're setting yourself up for a disaster. Half of these free models have bugs, the other half have scripts you don't understand, and sometimes they're not just messy, they're malicious. Backdoors, performance sinks, weird code that breaks everything when you publish. It's not worth it. And even if they are clean, you're not really learning. You're assembling someone else's game, not building your own. What helped me break this habit was asking myself one question every time I went to use a toolbox. Could I make a simpler version of this myself? If the answer was yes, even if it was going to be ugly, even if it took longer, I made it. And little by little, I learned how to model, how to script, and how to build smarter. Not perfect by any means, but just better. So yeah, use the toolbox for what it's meant to be used for. Quick utility stuff. Don't lean on it like a crutch, or you'll never walk on your own. This one might sound simple, but it'll ruin your game if you ignore it. Back when I first started, I'd go full on speed building these long obbies, full layouts, 20 to 30 stages, all in one go, and then I'd publish it without testing anything. No jump distance checks, no anchored parks, no collision issues, nothing. You'd load in and immediately fall through the floor. Or worse, get to level 3 and realize a single jump was literally impossible. And if someone played it, they'd leave instantly. The mistake here is saying you'll test it when it's quote unquote done. But if you wait until the game's finished, you're gonna be overwhelmed with bugs you don't remember how to fix. Small problems compound fast. What I do now, and what I recommend to literally everyone, is test as you go. Like every few minutes. Place a part, playtest, add a script, playtest, adjust a jump distance, test it. Even just run through your map and see how it feels to play. The earlier you catch problems, the easier they are to fix. And on top of that, you start seeing your own design through the player's eyes, which helps you build way better experiences. So yeah, don't wait till the end, test everything, early and often. I promise your players will feel the difference. When I started working on Race, I was mostly testing it on PC. Just me, my mouse, and my keyboard. Everything ran smooth, everything looked clean, so I figured I was good. Then we launched and got hit with feedback from mobile players. Stuff was breaking, buttons were too small, the game lagged like crazy on lower end devices, and that's when it hit me. Over 80% of Roblox's player base is on mobile. That's not a small group, that's the vast majority. So by not testing on mobile, I wasn't just missing a few bugs, I was alienating most of my audience. That was a huge wake-up call. Since then, anytime I work on a project, I make sure to run on mobile early, not just as an afterthought. Resize your UI, simplify your camera angles, reduce unnecessary particles or heavy textures. If your game doesn't run on mobile, it's not going to grow. Mobile players are just as important as desktop, if not even more. And if you give them a broken version of the game, they'll just close it and never come back. Don't wait until after launch to realize this like I did. Build with mobile in mind from the start and your game will do way better. Guaranteed. Look, I get it, we all want to make money off our games. I wanted that too. And when we first launched Raise, we thought we had it figured out. We added cases you could open, pay some Robux, get a powerful gun. It was simple and it worked. For a little while. But then players started leaving. And the more we looked into it, the more we realized what we'd done. We sacrificed players' experience for monetization. We gave paying players this huge advantage and made everyone else feel like they couldn't keep up. And when that happens, people stop playing. Even the ones who spent money. The game just doesn't feel fair anymore. We had to completely revamp the system, we replaced the pay-to-win guns with hard-to-get weapons that felt rewarding, but not unfair. And we made sure people who did support the game still got something cool, but without ruining the balance for everyone else. That change saved the game, but it's something I wish we didn't have to fix in the first place. So here's the real advice. Don't chase money before you build something people love. If your game is fun, polished, and fair, people will support it. You'll get your monetization eventually. But if you leave with game passes and crates and paywalls, you're going to drive people away before they even get a chance to enjoy what you've made. Make your game feel good to play, then figure out how to earn from it. That's the order that works. And I'm going to do a bonus one, I'm just going to keep this short, but it's something a lot of new devs don't think about. And it's where a lot of people get burned. If you're thinking about joining a team or working with other devs, make sure they're people you trust. People with a good track record, people who actually finish what they start. I was lucky, everyone I've worked with, I already knew. They were friends, people I'd built stuff with before, but I've seen so many developers, especially younger ones, join these random studios on Discord, get promised the world, and end up getting ghosted, or worse, scammed. You'll hear things like, we're building the next pet simulator, or you'll get paid once we launch. We just need you to script the whole thing real quick. If any of this sounds familiar, step back. Early on, your best move is to learn how to work solo. Learn studio, learn your own pace, learn what you're good at. Then maybe partner up later once you have some experience under your belt. Teams can be amazing, but if you jump into one too early with the wrong people, it can kill your motivation, or worse, ruin your first experience with game development altogether. So build your foundation first, then build with others. If you're starting out in Roblox development, I hope this video helped. These are all mistakes I made myself, and honestly, they taught me more than most tutorials ever did. The goal here isn't to be perfect, it's just to get better every time you build something. If you've already made some of these mistakes, that's fine, it means you're learning. That's part of it. If you want to get better faster, or just hang out with other devs figuring out just like you, join the Discord. And if you want more videos like this, or if you want to see what else I'm doing outside of Roblox, check out the second channel. It's a little more relaxed, but same energy. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your next project.